Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Gary and the channel is called Clueless Reacts. So today I'm going to have, I would say a bit of fun, yeah, a bit of fun. But I want to see your reaction to this as well. It's how Indians react to Apu. Now Apu, you'll probably know, is the Indian character in The Simpsons. Now, some may take it as a slur. Some might take it as some fun. I didn't think about this until recently, until someone mentioned it to me. So I'm going to watch this, and I'll tell you as well a little bit at the end how this reacts to affects me as well. Not so much the Indian point, but let's have a little look and see. I hope it's of interest to you. Racism is a horrible thing, but we should stamp it out and let's see how this is going to work out.
It's Marie from Asian Boss. For the longest time in American entertainment, the Simsons Apu was the only major Indian figure on television. Depicted primarily as a convenience store clerk, Apu has long been the center of criticism by the Indian American community for his shallow representations of Indians and Indian culture. And after 30 years on air, the voice actor of Apu, Hank Azaria, recently announced that he will no longer be voicing the character going forward. But while the Indian American stance is well circulated, are you curious as to how people in India feel about the Apu character? We hit the streets of Mumbai to find out.
Today I'm going to show you a clip from an American television show portraying an Indian character. So maybe you know about the character and the show, but just see the clip and I'll ask you some questions based on it, right?
It is time for my arranged marriage. It all happened shortly after my 8th birthday.
Yeah. It's very stereotypical, isn't it?
10 votes in an electric fan? You call that a dowry? Okay, we will throw in a textile factory. Then it is agreed. Your third daughter will marry our first son. It is done.
That's how the West think of Indian marriage, by the way.
To enjoy my bachelor food. It is my mother. Don't you see she is here to meet my wife? The wife that I told her I had. I do not have a wife. She's going to be here any
You
second.
can tell lies, Apple.
Oh, yes. That will buy me some time.
So do you know who this character is?
Apu, yeah.
From The Simpsons?
Simpsons, yeah.
Are you familiar with this character? Or
Yeah, a bit, yeah.
Have you heard about the show? No.
That surprised me. This guy's never heard about The Simpsons.
Apu from The Simpsons.
In India.
Apu. How big
Never heard
is
of
The
that.
Simpsons in
That's
India,
bizarre
in
to
your
me.
opinion?
I guess only some of them watch it. It's not that famous till here. And
Is The Simpsons
I
not
don't
famous in
think
India?
also
I thought it was
it's
really
getting
famous.
streamed on our television.
Like, if you ask 5 people, like,
I think it is streamed on your
5
TV.
people will know about The Simpsons, yeah.
And when you just watch the clip, what were your general impressions of the character?
I thought like somewhat like the young adults might be able to relate to him because as adults at the age of 25, 24, their parents also forcing them at times, nudging them to get married. Yeah. It was stereotypical, like it was something related to marriage,
Yes, it was,
Indian
yeah.
marriage system. Like there is more to India than just the marriage system.
But the cartoon, for
And
goodness
in
sake.
cartoon, it's not necessary to include the stereotypes that are imbibed in us through Bollywood and stuff like that. There have been many movies of Govinda, like they lie to their parents that their marriage has been already done. So it's not, the stuff is not funny anymore. Like once or twice it's okay, but there are already many stuff like that.
Did you find it funny or were you angry about it?
I
Something?
found it funny. Really
Found it funny.
Yeah. It happens in India, so I wouldn't call it stereotype, but yeah, it happens a lot in a lot of part of India. So
You didn't look at all amused by it, I must admit. I say the funny.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny the way they show what an Indian would be like.
Okay. Do you find it offensive or something?
No, not really. I mean, kind of American humor is offensive generally.
It is offensive.
It was not
generally, yeah.
funny, I believe. They
they might have tried to portray a funny character, but I don't believe it's funny. Indians are like not all the same. They've tried to portray a caste
course,
maybe,
no one's the
and
same.
I don't believe that they've done it pretty well.
Did you find it offensive?
If some person from some other nationality speaks something like
It's a
this,
cartoon, my friend.
yeah, I may find it offensive because it's our cultures.
First and foremost, the character was brown. All the characters which were shown in it, even the small side-by characters, they were shown as a brown character. They were shown to be funny. They were shown to be extremely backward. So obviously, few people are bound to find it offensive. Especially the kid.
That's the American way. Belittle people. As I would say, take the piss out of them. And yeah, they are offensive. But it's also funny in certain aspects. When it comes to racists, it's not funny. But I think some of the comments here are really mixed. I think this girl here is very serious. I don't think she sees any of the lighter side of it. She's very against it. So we'll see who else picks up.
We are growing our kids to be extremely modern these days.
So the opinions are quite divided on this issue because some people might argue, what's the problem? It's just a cartoon character. Why is everybody so sensitive? Whereas other people think that it's really bad because it directly affects the Indian and other Asian American communities negatively in real life.
Okay,
What's your take on this?
See, first of all, it's a cartoon.
Good.
So we should take it in a way so that, yeah, it's fine. They just made it in a funny way. So what? And in a way, they are just showing you how Indian society is and how it shouldn't be. So yeah, according to me, people should take it in a
I
funny way.
must admit, I love the
I
head
feel
wobble.
they definitely
This makes me laugh at you guys. The head
show
wobble.
it or broadcast on
What are you talking?
television if it's something negative because it's something many people watch. So they would obviously get influenced by it and take it in the negative sense too. So I don't think so. It's correct to show it, broadcast it on television.
But why would you take negatives?
I do not take it very personally, but it showed of dowry and the Indian culture basically. So many people who have traditional thoughts in that sense, they might take it personally. But me, I didn't take it personally, and I did find it funny in that sense. They are telling us that it's just a cartoon, but they don't know how many people see it. America itself has a long history of racism,
Very long.
and portraying such things will just increase the amount of people who are being racist.
Yeah, that's a good
Many
point.
Indian students can get
That's a good point.
bullied because of this.
I don't
in the
think that's
schools
going to
and
get bullied
stuff.
because it's
So I
maybe.
would just say that there should be a particular level which they should never cross.
When one says that they shouldn't be so sensitive about it, it is blocking their way, blocking their path to explore India more, because there's much more to India in general. There are different cultures, languages, there are different types of cuisines in general. Every culture has its different, and the languages, of course, we have like every few kilometers away you'll find different kind of language.
What about Apu's accent? Does it sound like an accurate Indian accent or do you find it exaggerated in any way?
It was extremely exaggerated. As you can see while I'm talking, I do not sound like Abu in any possible manner. I have seen people who talk.
This is funny because when you're talking, I'm very, very Scottish. I don't think that I sound particularly Scottish until I watch the video back again. And I think, my God, you're Scottish. These guys don't think that they actually sound like Apu, but they do sound like Apu, because it's their conception of how they sound. So this is a good point.
Like that, and I have seen people who don't talk like that, Indians only. Accent was bad. I mean, I don't talk like that, so definitely none of the Indians.
Well, you do talk like that, exactly.
It's a bad impersonification.
Do you find it exaggerated?
That was
in
funny.
some way?
No, it was quite accurate.
And the head wobble again.
Quite accurate, yeah. Let me tell you that Apu
You need to
is
tell me
played
what
by
the head
this
wobble is
white
about, guys.
actor. His name is Hank Azaria. Okay, and this is his photo actually playing the role of Apu in The Simpsons, right? Okay, so he's been voicing Apu He's been doing other voices for the Simpsons characters, but especially for Apu, he's been doing for 30 years. Wow. So I can see that there are surprises here, right? So
Yeah, so
why do
go
you
on.
think, like, why were you so surprised? Like
It was completely apt with Indian language and the way Indians talk.
30 years is a very long time. They can easily come over the fact like Indians are forward. They are better than what they were before. So yeah, there could be a slight character change. There could
Thank
be a
you.
slight,
There could
probably,
be.
I'm fine with the fact that a white guy is playing it, but if he's playing that character, he could have understood the fact that Indians have changed over the years.
It kind of
It's still a
does.
cartoon.
I mean, he's still going on and no one has said anything about it. But it's just a cartoon show in the end.
That's
Which is, I don't think there's anything offensive, and if he's doing it since 30 years, he must be good at it.
some response to the controversies and criticism surrounding the Apu character by the Indian American community, Hank Azaria announces that he would no longer be voicing Apu because he feels responsible. How do you feel about his decision?
First of all, I think that the Indian American community shouldn't take it as an offense because the character wasn't portraying anything negative, to be
Of
honest.
course.
So yeah, I don't think he should have resigned from what he was doing. He should have continued his job.
When you're offending a big community, there is always some guilt. But I think he could have made a better choice. Like after leaving, he could have just asked them to at least portray the character in a better way to the producers of the Simpsons, so such thing won't happen with another person who is voicing the particular character.
But then again, you can't change a character halfway through after 30 years. They can't change how Apu talks, how he looks, his actions, his colour. Apu is Apu. He is what he is. He's an Indian shopkeeper. Now in the UK, we have thousands of Indian shopkeepers who are the salt of the earth. They're fantastic people. And they're some of the funniest people I've ever met. And this comes from Pakistanis too. We've got lots of Pakistanis and Bangladeshis. So it's not just Indians. But to think that the producers are now going to change the character after 30 years is just insane. Maybe they could introduce another character with different values, but this, beggars belief.
Like, it's not completely his fault. If
It's
the
not his
community
fault.
finds it offensive,
He's an actor,
it has
for
to be
goodness
the
sake.
fault of creatives who have created the content. Like, he's just an artist who is makeover and he's doing his great job. By one clip, I can say that.
He's a
So
good one.
I don't think the voice makeover must have been problem for Indian communities, but the content is more that can offend our crowd.
Would you agree that the Western world still seems to have very little to no idea about India and its people?
Yeah,
that is true.
That's true. But they are not completely to be blamed. Like our movies and our actors and stuff that's happening all over the country portrays our image in the wrong way. That should not happen. I don't think so. Like the Western countries, they have a good sense of idea about Indians, and as Indians having a population of 1.2 billion, we have been able to
4.3 billion,
spread to all the parts of the country, all the parts of the world.
No, they don't. They don't even understand the society and what goes on around India and all. They don't understand about it.
How can people from Western culture get to know India better in a more accurate way?
By these, they can make documentaries about India, especially about the villages.
I feel exploring is the best option over here. They can come down to India, they can check. Like me as a Mumbaiker, I find different things about India every day. I've seen a lot of YouTube channels where these foreigners, they come to explore India, and I feel they too have a different opinion. Like when they come to India, they're like it's completely different from what has been portrayed in their country.
Of course.
And there are very few people who actually come down. These people prefer going to Paris or a very hi-fi city or a very hi-fi country.
Why would you
Coming
think
to
that?
India is like a very secondary option for them. If we are able to change that, I think that's the best option we can put forward.
Read up about Indian culture, make Indian friends.
Actually,
Definitely don't watch Bollywood movies.
Definitely don't watch Bollywood movies.
Why do you say that?
It just shows one side of India, like the more elaborate fantasy kind. So, definitely
Yeah, that's not really
meet more Indian people, you'll get to know about India.
Hope you found people's answers insightful. How do you feel about Apu's representations of Indians? Do you agree with Hangazara's decision to quit voicing the character? Let us know in the comments below. If our vision to become the leading voice when addressing social and cultural issues from all over...
Well, I enjoyed watching that. I enjoyed the different views. My view is that Hell, it's a character. It's a cartoon character. Yeah, he plays a storekeeper, which is exactly what he is. But I don't find Apu to be racially abused. Now, the other thing that makes it a bit fun for me is that there's a Scotsman in The Simpsons as well. I think he's called McTavish. I'm not sure. But he is a stereotypical Scotsman. So if Apu is a stereotypical Indian, McTavish is a stereotypical Scotsman. He's got a long red beard. He wears a red tartan hat. He drinks whiskey like out of the bottle. He wears a kilt, and you can't understand what he says. So I don't get offended with that, and that's exactly not what Scottish people are like. But it's stereotype. So I think Apu is stereotyped, but not in a bad way. But the comments are interesting, so I'll let you give me the comments that you think, because I love to get involved in your comments. As you see, I always answer a comment, and even have a discussion. So yeah, if you like it, please subscribe. Please subscribe, because I want to get the magic 1,000 subscribers, and then I'll do a one-on-one with you guys. Like it, share, do all the good things for me. You've been fantastic for the last 10 weeks. I've only been doing this 10 weeks, but it's growing on me, and I'm loving to learn about India. And this lady says about come to India. Well, yeah, I'm coming to India, but this is a great channel for me. I love exploring it. I watch YouTube Indian movies most of the day. I learn stuff. I learn different languages. There's so many different languages there. My friend Jay's setting up a Kannada language thing, so we'll keep you informed in that. So again, subscribe, like, thumbs up. Don't give me thumbs down. You can if you want. But you take care in this current climate, and until next time, thanks for watching.